Hi, friends. So, are you old enough to read the oldest book probably known to mankind? Not just the oldest spiritual book, the oldest book known to mankind, and that is the Rig Veda. I don't know. I was around 38 when I read it, and I loved it. Let me add on start off by saying that the only edition of Rig Veda that I found, and I know that a lot of religious Puritans go a little mad about it, is this volume, which is by Max Muller. And the moment you say that, I know today there's a lot of social media debate about saying that, Max Muller was a foreigner, he really did not understand the Veda and he misunderstood it or deliberately misinterpreted it, because of his biases. Having said that, let me simply put it this way. If somebody can give me a better volume, a better translation in English of the Sanskrit, I'm more than happy to read it. I mean, I would like to know more about this book. So if there's a better translation, I'm game, absolutely. But in the absence of that, or at least in the absence of my having found it or my ignorance, let me make do with at least this edition and this translation, because this at least is available everywhere, right? This has been the basis for a very long time, right? And I don't know which else is an authentic translation. So let me start off with this. Irrespective of all the controversies, that let me put it this way: despite whatever you call of Max Muller, the Rig Veda came across as very, very, very interesting read to me at two levels. One is the beautiful poetry of it all. You see, a book which is, I don't know, thousands of years old, at least 3-4 thousand years old, and in that book there are verses on gods like Soma, Aruna, leaving aside Vishnu and Rudra, and Indra, and how much importance Indra was in those times. And then there are the rishis like Vishisht and all, and then there is prayers in terms of bringing our gods, ensuring that so X and X activity is done, and praying to the lords. I mean, everyone knows the most famous mantra of them all, which is the Gayatri mantra. But the other part was to be able to feel what thousands of years back those people, or whoever those were who wrote these, felt. But most exciting of it all was, you see, like the Gayatri mantra, there are many verses in the Rig Veda which are recited every now and then in so many other functions and all, for in India at least. So for, I'm sure for any Indian, it is a very interesting experience to actually go beyond the heard verses which sound very beautiful in Sanskrit and know what they mean. I mean, what does the verse mean? What is it all about? When you declassify that mystique, and I'm sure you know this fact, then in ancient age it's supposed to be that not everybody and anybody could read the Vedas. So it is a very liberating feeling, and it's in sync with the theory of spirituality and religion today, where we want to know. And I think uh, we are blessed to be in a time where knowledge is permeating everywhere. And definitely India is known for its culture, where you're encouraged to know, you're encouraged to question, you're encouraged to appreciate in its beauty, because we are very sure that anybody who reads the Rig Veda is going to come out being very, very excited and amazed about it. There is nothing to hide here. It's absolutely wondrous. Wondrous to think that you can connect with the thought process which was being talked about at least so many thousands of years back. There are people who say that it is maybe much older than 10,000, 11,000 years back. I'm not even getting it, doesn't matter. And it also gives you a semblance of, what do you call, tranquility, in the sense that you feel that so many X thousand of years back, people had certain lifestyle. and yet they had similar concerns. And thousands of years later, with all this modernization, with all this change of lifestyle, we still have the same challenges. So, the moment you are able to connect with the man worshipping the God and the divinity in the Veda, you feel time has stopped, and for you are connected to all of that eras of humanity. This vlog, I wanted to keep it simply about the Vedas, but I know that when I mention the Veda, though this book Rig Veda does not add on to the Upanishadic part of it, it is incomplete without touching the the tail, which is the Upanishad. We all know that they are part of the Vedic scripture. No, I don't know whether there is a clarity on whether they were written post the Vedas or added onto the Vedas later, whatever it be. But I strongly suggest that if there is one book and only one book that you had to ever read in your lifetime, and you had to come to me and say, I can only read one book, I am really not a book reader, what should I do? Then I would say pick any Upanishad. And I repeat, it's not about one spiritual book. If you have to just read one book, it should be the Upanishad. Any Upanishad, sir. I don't care if it's Chandogya Upanishad or anything Upanishad. Okay. For all I care, you can pick up the smallest Upanishad. Now, the reason for that is very simple. Every line in the Upanishads is so profound, so profound. And there is a beautiful demarcation. If you look at the Rig Veda or any of the Vedas, which I understand, I have read the Rig Veda, but I have understood about the others also. They talk about gods, they talk about all the different facets of gods, from Soma to Indra, etc. But the Upanishads are pure, unadulterated philosophy. They are literally, as they say, means this at the feet of the Guru. Okay, and they do not once, for I know, mention any god by name. Okay, that's the highest form of pure spirituality. There is no reference to any religion or god. Every line there, and the most famous line which has been made very popular these days, Brahmasmi, is profound. In another vlog, I am going to tell you that all of this new age philosophy, which is suddenly very new and innovative, comes from that one line, Aham Brahmasmi. That line has such deep meaning that all of new age philosophy can be said to be coming out of it. It is evident. So the Upanishads are like extremely condensed milk. They already, in every tablespoon of them, has such profound properties. So you would not find anything that any new age guru can say, anybody can say, or any other book that can say, which is not covered in every lines and pages of the Upanishads. If you ask me, just adding on to which Upanishad book should I refer to, I don't know, there are many, but as you know, there are some 200 odd Upanishads, 108 are supposed to be the main Upanishads. Then there are different people who categorize 18 or 20 Upanishads, which are the major ones. The one that I have read, okay, is by the ex-president of India, S. Radhakrishnan. It's called the Principal Upanishads. That's, I believe, one of the most best-selling books on the Upanishads. And Sri Radhakrishnan was a great writer. Okay, so probably that is what I can recommend. But I would say this whole pairing of the Veda Upanishad gives you, even today, in this day and age, with all these different groups talking about different approaches to spirituality, gives you still the most hearty combo meal package possible of spirituality and the essence of man's connect with divine. The Vedas in their way, and their footnotes, the Upanishads in their additions, in their own different manner. you can pick what you like and go with it and read it. Thank you.